Coming next, we have Blane McCullough. Where's Blane? Well, let me just start introducing Blane while we wait for him to be moved on stage. Blane is an Army veteran with 20 years media experience. And today he specializes in marketing and brand strategy. Blane, the virtual mic is all yours.
Thank you very much, Francine. Well, it's a pleasure to be here first and foremost. Happy Veterans Day to all of my veterans out there. And for me, just so excited to be here. One, just to be able to, first and foremost, share this unity that we all have, the love that we all have, the patriotism that we all have. Really, I think for me, what I learned in my times of service, and one of the things that I'll never really get out of my head is the lengths that you're willing to go to for your brothers in arms. I tell everybody that I meet, for me, the whole idea of what our time was in the military, what my time was in the military, is all about you learn how to trust someone else other than yourself. And I think that's important because just as we go through life, as we're going through, especially the times that we're in today, where everything seems divisive, right? And I understand that those can be, sometimes can seem unsettling, much as, being in situations, whether you're in an operational sense or just in a life sense, where things are uncertain, but you can trust those that you have around you, those that you're with every day, those that you're going through the grind with, as you call it, every single day. And so leaning into those community groups. And so one of the things that I love about being in services, man, I've been to so many events where you just start up a conversation, you realize there's another veteran across the room, and they might have served 10, 20 years ago, they might have served a year ago. It doesn't matter. There's a kindred spirit that's there. And I think what unites us is a sense of duty and pride and honor that we have, not for ourselves, it's for the others that we serve. I tell people all the time, I've never been I don't do what I do for me. I do it for the guy next to me. At the end of the day, I believe that he's going to bring me home. I'm going to bring him home. And that camaraderie that we share, I think really is what fuels this veteran community that we have. It's why we love to see one another at events. No matter how many years it's been since you saw your last battle buddy, you see him again, and it kicks off right where you left off. So it's just a beautiful thing. And I've enjoyed so many lessons that I've learned. The biggest thing I think is just discipline and knowing that you can continue regardless of what your circumstances are. And so I've taken all of that training and my time in the military, I was able to spend in psychological operations. And that is really understanding ultimately is communication and how we communicate with one another. And I have taken all that skill set and I now apply that to small businesses, right? And I love to help small businesses. I honestly believe they are the backbone of our economy. Small businesses employ more individuals than larger corporations combined, right? So we have to get out there and support those small businesses. That's what I'm passionate about. That's why I'm passionate about your branding and your marketing because it's the message that you're using to communicate to others. And so I've been able to take my experience in the military in creating media campaigns and apply that to small businesses to help them really navigate what they're trying to do. And at the end of the day, how we communicate is everything. One, one of the biggest things I learned is just knowing who's in the room, right? Depending on who you're briefing or who you're talking to, you always have to be mindful of who's in the room. And not that I don't want to say I don't want you to sugarcoat anything. I think there's a way you should always be authentic and you should also always be clear about your message. But what I mean by being mindful is in the room is just understanding one or two things. One, the tone that you're using with them. You always want to be respectful. I think the second thing you want to be mindful of is what's their level of understanding? How much knowledge do they have about what it is that you're trying to get across? Because you may say something in the wealth of knowledge that you have, and it might go over someone else's head. So giving them the patience to make sure that you're communicating effectively, make sure that they're understanding what you're trying to say, and make sure that ultimately, when you're speaking, it's done in a way where the message has gotten across, the message has been heard, ultimately that it's been received. And so the idea is that if the message was received well, then we're moving and we understand each other. We're able to move at the same pace and we're able to move at the same time, together. So that's kind of just some of the things that I've just taken away from my career and wanting to help others and continuing to help others. I think one of the biggest things that I can say has helped me in my career is just understanding, I think, how to compartmentalize and put all the different pieces together. Being able to really backwards plan, I think, is big for me. I've just learned that in the military. Hey, if we got to be ready at this time, do we have all the things that we need to get ready? And so, just so many skills and things that I've learned along the way that I'm able to apply, to what I do now. So it's been a beautiful experience and just a beautiful time helping others. I think is probably one of the biggest things I could say is that willingness to help others and that desire to want to be that light, right? Be that leadership really is what ultimately what it comes down to. Being that leader in times where, again, like I said earlier, it might be tough. It might be, you're not, it's uncertain at times. And I get that. But the idea of leadership is that I'm going to grit my teeth, bear it, move forward, no matter what the situation is, and know that I have the skill set and get through it. And I think what helps is, a big part of that is training, right? I don't think we talk about that enough. One of the things that we did all the time is we're just constantly training. The idea is that we're always preparing ourselves for what the challenge is that's to come, right? We're aware that the challenge is coming, we prepare ourselves, and then we attack it with everything that's within us. So that's the biggest thing that I can say is take ownership of where you're trying to go and what you're trying to do and train, continue to learn, be a lifelong learner. I encourage you to get out there and whether it's read a book, go to a webinar, right? Find mentors, I think is huge. Finding others that you can really lean on, finding others that you can really lean on, and making it a point to just sharpen your sword, get 1% better every single day.
That is so profound because you're talking about the lessons we learned in the military. And it's funny that in my books to children, I'm starting to teach them at a young age how to prepare their minds to live like that in the future.
Yes, ma'am.
When you work with adults, how do you teach them how to prepare if
Yeah.
they haven't gone through the military and they don't understand that concept?
Absolutely. Honestly, it's one step at a time. I think a lot of times we want the end result so fast. Excuse me. We want the end result so fast that we don't realize it took months of training to learn how to handle your rifle. It took months of training to learn how to zero the rifle. It took months of training to learn how to not flag your battle buddy, right? Or to not handle the weapon improperly. And so this is what I meant by the training part is you have to get the 1,000 bats in. There's only one way to get through it, and that's to go head first, right? Depending on who you are. Some might jump out feet first, but you just got to get in there and try it and be willing to fail. It is okay. Failure is just an opportunity for you to learn a lesson. And when you learn that lesson, in the military, we call it an after action report, right? We review what happened. And then we go, hey, give me 3 ups, 3 downs. Well, we can't say 3 downs, and it's 3 sustains now, right? But it's three, you review where you're at and then you make adjustments. It's okay to not hit it right every single time. You just try and keep going.
That's the biggest lesson I try to teach kids. If you get it wrong, just learn and try again.
How can we do better? And then with
Right?
that confidence, go do better. That's it. Keep going. You're okay. Dust it off.
Oh, none of us walked the first time we tried. We all fell
Yeah,
down a couple times.
I hear stories that I no, not at all. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
So, how can people get in touch with you if they want to hear more from you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me at Blane B Media everywhere on social media. Blane B Media Media. Pretty much everywhere. So yeah, I'd love to work with you. I'd love to continue to conversate with you. And most of all, I'd love to encourage you. Whatever your dreams are, don't wait and watch somebody else fulfill them. You go get out there and go grab whatever it is you want because nobody's giving it to you. Go take it. Get in the fight.
That's it. Don't wait to be perfect, just try.
That's it. That's it.
Thank you, Blaine. It was a pleasure meeting you
Thank
today.
you, Francine. Absolutely. Thank you.